Welcome to the first episode of Kind of Funny's The Fast and the Furious in review.
Woo!
I'm Tim Gettys. This is Andy Cortez.
Hey,
we got
guys.
Kevin Coelho. We got Greg Miller.
My manifold never fails, baby.
There we go. And we got Nick Scarpino rounding out
about a half
on my
mile
left.
at a time.
Quarter mile.
I live my life
A
about
half
10
of a
feet
half
at a
mile.
time.
For those 10 seconds, nothing else matters. We raced for a minute and a half.
14 minutes. 14 minutes we raced that 10-second
My
fucking
favorite
quarter
thing
mile.
about Vin Diesel in this movie is that he's not like...
He's a normal human.
He's a normal human.
Yeah.
And it's like, he doesn't have that much of a, I sound like a crazy idiot.
No, Vin
you
Diesel
know?
has two speeds in this.
Fast and furious.
And angry Vin Diesel. It's so bad. Man, I tell you, I'm going to eat crow in this one because I was like, we'll get to it in a second. But my most fascinating thing watching this movie with a critical eye was I was like, I used to think that Paul Walker was the worst actor in this movie. He's probably one of the best.
Oh, you're fucking
Everyone
crazy.
is fucking terrible.
adorable.
They're all
in this movie.
17.
They are 17.
17. They're all 34-year-olds playing 17-year-olds.
Well, there's a nice mix in there. Vince in there, I'm like, yo, you an old ass man. And also, why are you wearing so much fishnets?
Also, why?
Hey, but hey,
It was hot.
who knew that fucking whoever was playing in Thor Ragnarok watched this movie like, we should make Thor look like Vince. We should really just give him that haircut and beard.
Oh my God,
my
I love it
God.
so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kind of Funny's In Review, where we take a movie franchise and watch all the movies, review them, rank them. We've done it for the MCU, we've done it for X-Men, we've done it for the Spider-Man movies. Now we're doing it for the Fast and Furious series, and I could not be more happy or proud.
But like, why did they make everyone speak in car speak? Why is
It's a
every
car
other
movie.
You're running on fumes right now, O'Connor. Well,
Yeah, dude.
okay. I
It
mean,
makes
not really.
sense.
You know, like Ted Levine, I think his name, or Ted, the guy who played Buffalo Bill, who's always
Yeah.
everyone's always the fucking lieutenant or whatever. Every line of his is car dialogue, and I'm
Good.
like, that doesn't make any
Hey
fucking
man,
sense.
get in the fucking world, dude. Get
Also,
in the
they're like,
world.
these guys have stolen $2 million worth of DVDs, but this
VCRs.
operation's costing us $2 million a day. So let's hurry up and catch these motherfuckers.
I can only keep these truckers at bay so
So long.
long. I am on
They're
a
getting
CB
smart.
radio every night, O'Connor, talking to the truckers.
We haven't
Don't
said
do
we're gonna
it. We
revolt.
almost got him. We're gonna get guns. We're gonna get guns soon. How much
You guys want to get guns this time? Because these fucking street racers keep knocking us over. And they're
their
really hard to
fucking-
spot
with their
in
green
broad daylight
glow.
with the green glow.
It's like why would they have like
Why?
if they're trying to like do a covert like heist thing? Why are they like we have this signature green glow?
Why is Batman dressed like a bat? Fear.
Fuck.
You fucking see the Wicked
true.
Witch pulling up on you in a Honda Civic. Like, what the
Wow, that's some real shit.
Change the light to red. Like, oh, different guys.
He's got some, I mean, officer, that looks a lot like him, but they had green.
Yeah.
No one has got that technology.
You can watch this show
Trident
live
gun.
every Tuesday at twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames 11 a.m. or you can watch it later on youtube.com/kindoffunny, or if you want to listen to the podcast, you can search podcast services for Kind of Funny Reviews. All of our review products will be there. It's fantastic. Great time for everybody. I'm very, very excited about this. Fast and Furious, a franchise very near and dear to our hearts. To the core of what Kind of Funny is, I would say, family. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Absolutely.
And the
I mean,
thing
we've
is,
had our own
I'm so
barbecues.
happy that
have.
we've done MCU, we did X-Men, we did Spider-Man. All of those, I feel like the majority of people have seen. I feel like this is one of those franchises that people are going to join us on a journey for their very first time, including Barrett Courtney.
Yeah.
All right. Good job. Thank you.
It's,
Dropping
it's
Barrett.
awesome. Also, the first three are available right now on Netflix.
On Netflix, so
Hey,
that's a
very
nice thing
convenient.
for
Really
everybody.
useful.
I was talking about, I'm like, hey, man, this is like the first time this has ever worked out for us. Or I went to Netflix to search for a specific movie and it was there.
Yeah. Man, I probably spent like $148 on the MCU.
You
So-
bought all the movies by now.
So here's the thing. This is The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
The first one.
I love this movie.
Released on June 22nd, 2001.
Yeah.
Before
Boy,
9/11.
Oh,
Boy, I'll tell you what.
wow.
If you'd have told me this movie was released mid-90s, I would have believed you.
Totally.
The style of this movie.
Lands a bit.
But this is part of the charm of this film, right? I'm being super critical right now. I love this fucking movie. I loved watching this movie again. But you go back and you see it, and you're like, what was the art direction behind this movie? Everything.
yeah.
Everything.
Like the music?
We have hip hop. We have
The 90s.
fucking Limp
It's like
Bizkit. We
fucking-
have
yeah, dude, Limp
the
Bizkit.
Matrix
The
soundtrack
guys,
is in there someplace.
yes,
Ja Rule everywhere.
In the
What
first,
the fuck?
the first fucking race, We had 3 songs in the span of 15 seconds.
No, when they go
it
to
was
the-
one song, and then it was rolling, and then it was another song, back to back
No,
to
that's
back.
not- that's not
but
even
there
the
was
race.
no like art direction.
I was
It's
just
not like
pulling
That's
up
when
on the
they
waist.
pull up to the big
Yeah,
place,
exactly,
which, by
yeah.
the way, would have been a perfect place to have a street race because
Yeah.
there's nothing but space. And they're like, no, we got to go to the street.
We gotta go to
That's
street.
cooler.
It's a street
But they
race.
pull up and it's every time. I think the concept was, and they did it in Tokyo Drift a little bit, where like you get there and you get the feeling of like with that song where you're seeing all the engines,
Yeah.
but it's all the same type of car and type of like racers. This one, I think they were like, oh, everyone should have their own soundtrack.
Yeah.
But instead
No,
of
but-
hard cuts, it just kind of blended in with each other.
What's Hector's song gonna be?
Yeah.
Turn on fucking
There was-
alternative
There
radio.
was none of
I
that.
loved
Got
it
it.
though.
But
I love that.
I love the idea
so
that everybody's
stupid.
cars are like they're
part of them,
like
like
they're
their
fucking
persona.
Gundam or something.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know, like so and so
exactly
shows
right,
up with
yeah.
like the pink one. It's like, oh, that's cool, man.
Well, what's so funny is this. I mean, this franchise obviously has transformed over the years, but this movie, it's iconic for so many reasons, and I feel like it really did introduce street race culture
Oh, yeah.
into just everyone's lives.
But
But I
Need for
can't,
Speed
but I
Underground,
can't help
man.
but think that this movie is sort of like the West Side Story of street, like what West Side Story is to gangs. Like this movie is to streetcar racing.
It's funny you say that, Nick, because today, so for people that haven't listened to the show before, this is a podcast, but we do podcasts within a podcast. And we're going to introduce a couple new ones in this, including something I'd like to call the facts of the furious.
Do you want me to sing it right now?
Yeah.
We got some information if you're curious. So here's the facts of the furious. Facts of the furious.
Really good. We got Mel Felker tweeted at me and was just like,
Made
hey.
up name. That's not a real
Mel,
person.
hi, Mel Felker.
Felker.
Mel Felker. I'm hanging out with Joe Scrabbles, and we're going to Miggity Moves tonight.
Miggity Moves, my favorite
Mel
pizza
underscore
and Domino's
Fel
place.
underscore on Twitter tweeted at me, was like, if you're gonna keep doing Easter eggs, you gotta call them the facts of the furious. I'm like, damn, that is genius.
really good.
So Nick, here's a fact for you: the filmmakers pitched the project as West Side Story with cars instead of singing.
Fuck yeah.
And they utilized
Wow.
themes and situations from both Point Break and Donnie Brasco in the script as well.
This is a blatant ripoff of Point Break, and I'm okay with it.
It's funny you say
gets a
that
pass
because
from me.
at one point in the movie, Dom, Vin Diesel, and Brian, Paul Walker, visit a restaurant called Neptune's Net. The real-life restaurant located along the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu is the same place where Lori Petty's character Tyler works in Point Break.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's good.
So they're aware. They know what's up.
I haven't
no.
thought about it in so long. Like if I've seen the seed that was the Fast and the Furious get planted in the womb and then grow into a baby of all these movies.
Milk out of the nipples.
Jesus Christ.
So I haven't thought about like the actual like narrative thread of the Fast and Furious, and we put it on. We're watching. It was me, Jen, and Lucy. And Lucy's watching. And she's like, when he turned out to be a cop, she's like, oh, he was an undercover cop. And then it was like, wait, this is Point Break. yeah, it is.
Point Break, but without the skydiving scene. But it's okay.
But instead, dope scenes of fucking cars going underneath trucks. So cool.
Yeah, but those trucks are too high.
By the way, let's. I mean, this is the beginning of the movie, so we can kick off the plot.
No, before we get in there, released on June 22nd, 2001, directed by Rob Cohen, who also directed Dragonheart,
Oh yeah, you did.
Triple
movie.
X,
Yep.
Stealth,
Stealth, great movie.
The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Oh, I know. Do you watch that?
What a lineup.
that was the one with Jet Li.
Jet Li,
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I think I fell asleep in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
And most recently, The Hurricane Heist. Rob
That makes a
Cohen
lot of
also
sense.
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
makes an appearance in the movie as a pizza delivery guy.
Who, if I'm not
That was
mistaken,
close,
pizza boy.
no, but I like he's like, damn street racers. Like they're everywhere. Like this is just a thing that people have to deal with in LA.
Different world.
like it's X-Men or
Like,
something.
it's,
These muties are everywhere.
What a fucking terrible line of dialogue. This is what I love about the Fast and Furious series, is that this movie is just so absurd, it's lovable.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it just pushes it right over the top where you're like, you know what? I'm in. Fuck it.
A budget of, Nick, I want you to take a guess. What was the
Oh.
budget for this movie?
$1,500 and Vin Diesel swore he'd clean your car.
$38 million.
Oh,
which-
wow.
Yeah, I thought it was going to
Wow.
be a lot more than that.
Yeah. How much did it make?
$207 million.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Runtime.
A lot of
Which is
heart in
good
this
because
movie.
the next one I'm pretty sure tanked like crazy.
So
I wonder how
hard.
many copies of Need for Speed Underground they sold.
Seriously, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, this inspired people to be like, you know what, street race is cool. We need neon lights.
Yeah.
And I'm all about those neon lights.
Yeah, but then people went too far. Didn't like Twisted Metal 3 come out and like with the chrome everything?
I don't know what you're
Was
talking
that
about.
around that time?
No.
Isn't there a Twisted Metal that's like all chrome on the cover? Don't worry about it. Let's move on.
Runtime of an hour and 46 minutes. Now, here's the thing. This is the first time that I'm saying this on this show, but I feel like we should avoid future spoilers for the
Yeah.
movies. If we're going to bring something up that spoils something in another movie, and I'm talking about significant, like you guys know what we're talking about
Yeah.
here, right? don't spoil things because Barrett's never seen it. There's going to be a whole bunch of people that are watching for the first time. So if we're going to spoil something, make sure you say that you're going to spoil something and give people time to cover their ears and all that stuff. And then
Barrett, jump out the window.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Well,
Like,
but
I
But as
can't
much as
cover my
possible,
ears.
avoid the spoiler talk.
Wait, did Barrett not watch
Of the-
today's?
No, he
Today's.
watched.
Okay.
So you're
No, we're
saying we can
spoiling
spoil
today's.
one.
Don't spoil the
No,
future.
I'm just making sure that
Yeah.
Barrett's
Don't talk
staying
about
current
Michelle
with us.
Rodriguez being a car.
I'm saying
Definitely don't talk about that.
Kill me, dog.
I look like a female, but
All
I'm
right, so there you go, Nick. Now you can hit it off.
Jesus, I'm all metal.
Do you remember seeing this in theaters?
Yeah.
God, I remember seeing this. Oh, me and
I
my
didn't see
friends,
this in theaters,
me and my
actually.
friends at
Really?
AMC Cantera sitting there watching this, and it's when they do the fucking when they kick in the Johnny Tran's house door and like arrest him or whatever, and they're playing the fucking Rhino's music from ECW. We're like, fuck yes.
good.
I just.
What a name.
I
Johnny Tran.
remember seeing this in theaters being like, I don't think I liked Fast and Furious until 3. Like, I don't think I really gave a shit about it until 3. 3 happened and I was
No,
like,
no way.
I was like, you know what? I kind of like the series. And I went back and watched the first two. I'm like, okay, they're endearing to me right now.
Yeah.
It was
But man, the first time I saw this movie, I'm like, this is just, it's like if a child wrote his childhood fantasy of having cool cars and getting cool
And I was in
girls.
6th grade, and
Oh,
it was
God.
fucking everything,
It's
Nick.
so
It
bad.
was
So
everything.
cool.
Me and my friends would just talk about Nos all the time. Why?
I remember
The most
watching it.
explosive.
I watched it as a kid, and then when we had, I guess when Fate of the Furious was coming out, you gave me the job to rewatch the whole series, and I hadn't seen the first one since I was like in middle school or whatever. I enjoyed it more this time around than the most recent time.
Well,
now I still don't think it's a very
because-
good movie. I don't think it's a very good movie.
It's not.
No.
It's not. It's fun as fuck,
It's not.
though.
I
yeah,
enjoyed the
I
shit
think
out
it's
of it.
pretty bad, but
I will say
I enjoyed
this.
it more this time. Like it was like, oh, it's you
Number
know.
one thing I took away from this, Ja Rule, tone deaf, can't sing. He cannot sing. Get to the end song, and it finally occurred to me, I was like, he can't sing.
So
He
something I
cannot
noticed
sing.
for the first time with this rewatch
Gotta go fast and
is he
furious.
says too fast, too furious. I'm like, whoa,
Whoa.
what a little
Yeah.
foreshadowing
Didn't
there.
know.
Star of the Fire Festival documentaries.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Very excited for that.
very good.
I just
Very
want to say
good.
before we get too far off the point that it was Fast 4 that brought it all back and made this into a cultural phenomenon because they did the thing of
Oh, no.
original parts, new body or whatever the fuck they
Yeah.
call it. And we were all like, that's cool. That's cool. They're
But
coming back
that
to
only
it.
happened
it-
because Tokyo Drift was so good.
Yeah.
The franchise.
So many of us had walked away is what I'm saying, but we came back with the idea of, oh, they're leaning into it and they're bringing
Yeah.
everybody
Oh,
back.
yeah.
I'll
Oh,
go
yeah.
see that film. And then you're like, you know what? I have an affinity for these films. I remember.
But a lot of people say that Tokyo Drift is the foundation upon which everything else is.
I have heard
It's
that.
a
I have
fact.
heard that.
It is a
It's a
fact.
fact.
Of
Except they
course.
never
There
brought
is
A lot of
It's
people
so
say Greg Miller's
crazy.
never watched Tokyo Drift all in one sitting. So that's
What?
I saw it once.
dude.
weeks, baby.
Sound off.
This is what Tokyo Drift is
Sound off.
at a Circuit City, they were showing it to
Yeah.
demonstrate Blu-ray or DVD, whatever it was. I was like,
wow,
all right.
1080p.
And then I've seen little bits and pieces here and there.
Tokyo Drift is where Little Bow Wow went from Little Bow Wow to just Bow
To
Wow.
Bow Wow.
And then no
Bow
career
Wowzer,
past
we
that.
Hit me
call
with
him.
that plot, Greg.
Andy, hit the new plot theme.
Oh God, I thought of I don't have a plot.
Do you have spots? No, we got plots.
Cool.
It's Los Angeles,
Yes, it
and
is.
guess what? Truckers run America. Don't forget it. Be nice to them. And they've got a whole bunch of DVD TVs fucking sitting there. VCR TVs.
VCR.
Combos, yeah.
Not even a very packed truck to start with. There's just some in there. But of course, it's because we will find out later about the mother load, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So truck driver Billy Doo just goes drive down the road and doo. There's all these kids on the highway going like, and then all these fucking cars show up and they got green lights and they're doing fucking weird tricks and they got a trident gun and this is very important. Everyone head to toe dressed in black. Yeah. Like fucking ready for this mission. This will play an important role in the last mission where everyone's fucking high on methamphetamines and they're like, let's just go.
And it's broad daylight. They use their stealth black
Why
Civics
does it turn from
in
night
broad
to day?
daylight.
Immediately.
Immediately.
I mean, suns.
Sun comes up.
Wait, but it was
Sun comes up, sun goes down.
It was
You know what's
dusk
going on?
when they were
It goes
leaving.
down, the
It
sun
was
comes
dusk
down.
when they were leaving,
I'm just saying,
and then
man.
all of a sudden it's morning.
Guess what? Race wars?
Yeah.
Happening on the equator. You fucking turn an egg upside down on the equinox. You know what I mean?
The Race Wars, Greg, is a real event that the film capitalized on for the scope of the final act. Over 15,000 real, practical, actual modified cars with real drivers.
I would've called that
at Race
bullshit.
Wars in those scenes.
Because Race Wars is the dumbest fucking name on the planet.
But it's so 2001.
It is
dude. It was
2001.
Green
Now a
9/11.
little bit different, but 2001 it's different. Something.
Race wars would have been a different
Yeah, no, you can't really call anything a race war. And have there be a positive connotation with that.
be cars involved.
So instead, that's happened. They've robbed him. Great. Oh my God. Look at these crazy people. Things are happening.
But, like,
they're bad guys.
Here's my point. Here's my point of feedback number one. What's with the fucking harpoon gun? Why don't you just pull the truck over? Like, don't you have another plan
Smash and
that
grab.
pulls the truck over?
Smash and grab.
Like back in the day when the Italians used to knock off trucks, they just would point a gun at him, like pull over, and they got to pull over. You hit him in the nose, go, here's a couple bucks, you stuff in this fucking pocket. You say, get yourself something nice.
You're basing
You
all of
didn't
that
see
on
anyone.
Goodfellas.
Also, why aren't these trucks being more like hit the brakes?
Or
That's
just,
what I was thinking.
When you get like shot, like hit the brakes and then start going, or just fucking destroy this
pull
car.
your car over and let him take it. It's not your fucking, you don't own the haul. You have insurance. Just let him take the shit. What is the point? But like, what was the point? He harpoons in and he climbs over on it, but not really. Like, I don't know. I never got the idea of the harpoon gun.
It was so like.
What do you mean?
Well,
What is the point
To
of
break
shooting
out
the
the
gun?
window.
the
breaks through
first
window
one
and
was
it's
break the
stuck,
window,
and then he attaches to himself.
and then
then
jumped
jumps
over, and now so
Then he
Seems
pulls it over.
so not.
Yeah, it's not
logical.
safe, and that's why at the end,
Yeah, it
Vince
doesn't work
gets
out
his
well.
fucking arm wrapped in it, and you're like, you stupid idiot.
Vince-
But again,
Broad daylight.
similar to Batman. Like fucking people are got these like, where'd you get a harpoon gun?
Yeah,
you know
that's
what?
true.
You can take it. When you guys were just being dicks in cars, I was scared, but I wasn't respectful.
Yeah.
Now you got a harpoon gun and you're climbing over here.
Super villain.
You know what I mean? I don't appreciate this. I don't like it, but I respect you. Take the fucking DVD.
You know what?
player. Sorry,
I rescind my
VHS
statement.
players.
I rescind my statement.
I guess that's true. You could have pointed any normal gun at me, but you have a harpoon gun. That's like, whoa. What else do they have?
Exactly. You know
This
what I
guy's
mean?
dedicated.
What else are they capable of?
It's like, you know, I'm gonna hold the ball. You're gonna take off my fingerprints. You know, I'm not gonna fuck around with you guys. You got shit. All right,
Excellent.
cool.
Men in Black.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very excited for Men in Black in review. Now we're gonna go to more into. We're on the outskirts of Los Angeles. Now we're gonna go deeper into Los Angeles, the city of angels. Where guess what? There is Toretto's Market, a place I completely forgot about. That
Me
it was
too.
Toretto's Market,
Where
where
I think, do we miss the scene where he was running his car? Like he was trying to race his car, like trying to figure out how
Paul
fast he
Walker
can get
was.
it. Yeah.
Oh, well,
I
yeah,
think
that's
we
where
cut
it
that
starts.
next, right?
yeah, who the fuck cares? He couldn't get his car as fast as he wanted to be. Did we? Did we or not?
Yeah, that's
I
where
think
it
it starts
starts.
because actually,
and
I
then
wa-
he goes to
I
Toretto's
wanted to call
Market.
this out because I actually I forgot some of the cinematography in this is actually really really nice. There's a part where
Some of it's really bad.
That ends. Most of it's really bad, but there's a part where that ends and he stops and he's like, "Shit, I could, you know, you don't know why he's frustrated because
Well, you don't
who the fuck
understand
knows? We
going
don't
that
understand
fast.
cars." But he pulls away, and as we pull away, a rack focuses to downtown LA, and that's where we realize, oh, we're in LA, which is I was like, that's actually a really
Dodger
cool shot.
Stadium's where
yeah,
they're at.
yeah.
Most importantly, we meet Brian Smilner, who loves tuna fish.
Yeah, dude.
This guy is big tuna if I've
man.
ever seen one.
When
He
I was
walks.
single, I love tuna fish like that too. If you know what I'm talking about. Somebody hit it.
So he's there at Toretto's Market. He's ordering the tuna fish, no crust. He's flirting with Mia. Everything is going well. Except then Toretto's boys pull up. It's Vince. It's Leo, I think. Leon, whatever the fuck his name is. The guy who just talks on the thing and yells at the pizza boy. And then I don't know if Jesse's there, but who fucking cares? They walk up
Jesse,
and
dude.
guess what? Vince is not about this. Because yes, he looks like Thor in Ragnarok, but he's in love with Mia and he doesn't like Brian Smilner coming around doing this stuff. So he's like, you know what? Get the fuck out of here. No more tuna fish. Tuna fish sucks here. It's a funny line. And then they go out, they fight a little bit, and then Mia's like, Dom, do something, because Dom's sitting there with his back to us. And you just know he's fucking doing stuff.
What a
and he's
big
also
reveal that was too.
immediately here, we just get to learn, like, man, he is a fucking dick to Letty. Because Letty's like, you want a drink? He's just like, got one. I'm like, why are you talking to
Why
her
are
like
you
you're
being so weird?
you're like a 13-year-old talking to your mom at a party? You know what I mean?
Did you know
Someone
that
puts up with
Michelle
your shit.
Rodriguez and Vin Diesel were dating during the production of this movie?
Really?
I read that somewhere and I was like, I don't believe that because out of all the relationships in
read
this
that.
film, they had zero chemistry. Zero.
What the
Just
fuck?
Zero.
It's. I mean,
Are you talking
couldn't
about
put two people
when he
on screen together
squeezes
that-
her ass in when he lifts her up? I was like, Jesus.
I always
Take
felt
me
that
away,
relationship
Dominic
was the most
Toretto.
forced. Like the Paul Walker Jordana Brewster
Yeah.
relationship, I always thought was kind of cute. I'm like, I get that. But the Letty Vin,
I'm
just
with
like,
you.
I don't like this.
They feel more like brother and sister.
yeah, they
than-
felt like
Agreed,
brother and sister.
agreed.
Yeah.
But it's because they've been around. They've been around
It's
each other
2019.
forever.
I do like the way that
No, it's
2001.
not.
I do like the way that
Right,
where they are
different time.
introducing Vin Diesel's character, and it's almost as if they are introducing Riddick from the Chronicles of Riddick, where it's like he's this
He's in the
mysterious
shadows.
figure.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they
he
kept
runs around, his
cutting
eyes
it,
are like
the
white.
back of it.
Which was weird too because Vin Diesel wasn't that big a star when this movie
No,
came
he
out.
wasn't.
So the
But it
review
was,
was like,
setting
who
up.
is this
It
guy?
was setting up that he is Toretto. He
Yeah, he's
is Dom
Dominic
Toretto. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So he comes out there. He breaks up the fucking fight. He yells at everybody. He looks at Brian's license. Brian's Miller. He works at the garage. He runs Harry's garage. Right? You don't work that no more. And he's like, oh my god, I love
just
that
got you
job.
fired, but
Yeah,
apparently Dom doesn't have as much pull as he
No.
thought he did because he calls Harry and Harry's like, nah, I got to keep him.
He's a good worker. I can't do it. Yeah,
it's
so
hard
that's
to
what
find
happens.
good
Brian
work.
drives back over there to Harry's place, and sure enough, yeah, he's like, "Oh, am I fired? No, I need you as a good worker. You can just talk Dom down because he's a fucking idiot. All right, great, thanks, man."
He has a really low IQ.
And guess what? I need all this crazy
Dom
shit for my car.
smash. Okay, Dom.
I need all this crazy shit for my car. I topped out at 140. I need to go faster.
I need to go 140.
I need NOSes. I
need
need lots
two
of
of
NOS.
these.
Yeah, two of these.
Terrible
Nos,
actor,
two
man.
Nos.
Hey, man, how would you deliver the line?
I need 2 of these.
And how did he deliver it?
I need 2 of these.
My favorite thing about Paul Walker in the entire
Slight
movie
difference,
is
but-
I don't think he stopped smiling once.
I love it.
He's
I love
always
Paul
If I was
Walker,
fucking
man.
Paul Walker,
smiling,
I'd be
just
smiling
super-
too.
I fell in love
Super
with Paul
happy.
Walker with Meet
Blue
the
Crush.
Deedles.
Oh.
Meet the Deedles, man.
Oh my god, I
Classic
remember that
fucking
name.
Wasn't he in
Knowledge.
Snow Wolf or the wolf movie where he had to fucking race across the Arctic
Balto.
with wolves?
Balto too.
No, you're
yeah.
thinking of Snow Dogs with
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
That might be what I'm
Yeah.
thinking of. They're very similar. Very similar human beings. Good
I saw
actors.
that.
Good actors.
Cisco's in that movie.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Really? The dragon.
The dragon.
He's Snow Dogs.
He's in Snow Dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Remember the
God.
part where the dragon is
No, we're talking about Snow Dogs
No,
now.
just type in
Paul
Paul Walker's
Walker.
snow movie and tell me what snow movie because I swear to God he was in a movie where he had dogs like sled dogs.
He's
just
Varsity
Snow.
Blues. I forgot
Oh.
about that.
He's
Eight
in the last
Below.
one.
He was in 8 Below.
Click it.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how old
Walt
you.
Disney. Look at
Oh,
those.
wow.
The most
Look at
amazing
those
story of
No,
survival.
oh my God,
friendship,
this is
and
actually a good movie. This is one where like he loses his dogs and they have to survive. Then he like fucking has to figure out a way to get back and save the dogs because the dogs like saved his life.
And the bear tries to
Very
fight
endearing.
him.
All right, it's got a 72 on Rotten Tomatoes. Now show me Snow Dogs.
Yeah,
Let me tell
that's
you.
gonna have
Snow
Hold
Dogs
on,
is
hold
gonna
on.
be 48.
8 Below's tagline. Can you move for a second? Is the most amazing story of survival, friendship, and adventure ever told.
Ever told. It's the greatest movie.
Look at all
ever
these
made.
fucking dogs. All right,
They're
here we go.
Snow
Snow
Dogs.
Dogs. What did it get? We're trying to beat a 79. Is that what I said? 78?
Let's see.
24.
24.
24.
Wow.
Not bad.
Well,
Okay.
If
All right.
you didn't think racism is
Cuba-
in Hollywood, there you go. You know
I'll
what I
tell you
mean?
one thing. Cuba
Same
Gooding Jr.
fucking movie, same idea. What's the tagline for Snow Dogs? Get ready for much.
How could that not win? How could that not win? Get ready for Mush Hour. So it's actually kind of a play on Rush Hour, which is great.
This show is real good.
At least in this poster, all the fucking dogs are looking at the same thing.
Scroll down a bit. I want to see if Cisco's actually in this.
Wait, you don't know?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
There he is.
Wait, when you said that, I was like, it's gonna say somewhere. Sure enough, starring Cisco.
Man, I love Cuba Gooding Jr. was like, I did A Few Good Men, and I'm going immediately to
Jerry Maguire.
Snow Dogs.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire, A
too.
Few Good Men, Snow Dogs.
God, A Few Good Men. So
Wasn't
good,
he also in
sad?
the Global Guts
No.
or Wild and Crazy Kids? That's what it was.
He was in Wild and Crazy Kids. Cuba Gooding Jr.
pretty sure.
No.
Was he an adult or a kid?
No, I was thinking Men of Honor.
That's no.
That's the diving
was one of
movie,
the
right,
hosts.
Nick?
Yeah, I went
No,
very
that's
good.
Omar
You
Gooding.
didn't like Men of Honor?
That was weird.
That's correct. That is correct.
What?
He was looking.
You didn't, if you thought racism didn't
It's so
exist. yeah.
sad. His
So-
legs gets
Brothers,
removed.
right?
I don't know. Probably.
Oh shit! That's now you got me.
Who's brothers?
Give me a search on Omar Gooding.
Omar Gooding and Donnie Jeffcoat. Just Omar Gooding, Cuba.
And
No,
then type
just-
Snow Dogs afterwards. See what happens.
No, don't listen to Nick. Barrett.
Listen to Nick.
Omar Gooding. You just delete that and just let me know and tell me is he related to Cuba Gooding?
Yeah,
Dude, they
siblings.
must be. Look at
Cuba
them.
Gooding Jr. Wow. Holy shit.
I did not know that.
Shirley?
I did
Who's
not
Kids?
know that.
No,
He
it's
hosted
wrong.
Wild and Crazy Kids. It was
And he
very
was on
definitive
Smart
for
Guy
us.
also. Good show.
All right. Where were we?
I need 2 of these. And then we cut to it's going to be street race night. The lights have gone down in the city of angels and they're going to go out there and they're going to race and do stuff.
Keep talking. I'm
Okay.
just going to do the background song.
Okay, so we pull up and
What? Keep rolling.
come on.
And then it cuts to "I'll be and some other Spanish thing.
We pull
And then it
in,
goes to
there's a
Japanese
whole bunch of
flavor
cars,
thing.
there's all stuff going on. There you go. And Hector's there. Our
Hector,
buddy Hector.
dude.
I don't know the actor
grounds us.
who plays Hector. I don't know. Do you know the actor?
No,
Does
but he's
anyone
been in
know?
a ton of stuff.
He is always the gang banger in anything he's in. And
He
then
was
if you
also
remember,
in the Dark Knight Rises.
Who is he in Rises?
He's like one of Bane's like henchmen.
Nice. Always if you remember, he was always the intimidating. Hey, I'm street. I'm a thug kind of thing. And then I forget what it was. What was the movie where wishes came true or something? Somebody went up his ass or came out of his ass when he was running away. Wishes were made. Does anyone remember this?
What are you talking about?
I do remember this. Was this?
Wishes? And coming out of
Yeah.
His ass?
Go to Hector's
it-
IMDb and we'll go backwards from there when we get there. It was something. There it is. It's,
it's
Bruce Almighty. Bruce
yeah.
Almighty. Yeah. And I remember watching that and I was like, you know what? This is a fun twist on Hector's story because he's always so intimidating and scary. Here he is. Hector's there. He talks to our friend Brian. We get a lay of land. What's going on? Brian's got a good car. He won't show you what's under the hood. He wants to race. Okay, whatever. All this shit's happening. I'm Hector. I'm kind of in charge, but I'm not. Okay. Then all the Toretto crew shows up.
No, but he
and it
kinda
turns
like
out they just fucking run the entire place
lot of
because
mess
Dom's just like, it's 2 G's. I'm doing it against these people. Nobody else. Like, wow, there's a lot of wasted time here. Why don't you just run all this, Dom?
Yeah. Well, because he like makes Hector keep the money, but then low key throws shit at Hector.
Yeah.
He's like, Hector's too slow to get away. And you're like, is he slow or is he dumb? Is that what you're trying to say? Why are you fucking with Hector?
I think it's very
slow.
much a car thing. It's a car. He's very slow at speed.
I think it's subtext and you guys don't understand poetry.
Poetry. This
movie's really
there's
deep,
gonna be a
yeah.
callback to that later.
So then, now it's time to
Do we
race.
see Ja Rule in this too? Is Ja Rule?
Yeah, Ja Rule's
okay.
there. This is when Ja Rule's there. We got
Monica's in the background. We don't know how important she's going to be until later.
Yeah,
but we do
exactly.
see her.
I mean, until pretty soon.
Yeah, so we're all lining up to the thing. Yeah, Brian's too cocky. He goes over the line. He comes back. He's racing for pinks. I left that part of him. The 2Gs. He's going to race for pinks. They looked under his car. Jesse was very impressed with what was under the car. Everybody's very impressed. They do it. Ja Rule's there. The girl comes up and like takes his hand and puts it on her boob, and she's like, "This is yours no matter what." But if you, then she's there too. We have a menage a trois. Oh my God, Ja Rule's very excited to have Monica and this other girl. Other guy's just playing PS1 in his car because he's a badass and he's awesome.
That was the coolest part of the movie.
Vin Diesel's there. He doesn't give a shit about anything. Paul Walker's there. He's like, let's fucking race. They race. And here's where it goes. 10 seconds, a quarter mile, and it goes on for 3 minutes. And it's not even like it's in slow motion. It is in fast motion.
Our first ever shot of the thing going through the car and like the stick shift and all that. I'm like, oh man.
I
What a
remember when
game
that
changer.
Yeah, when that happened the first time in the movie theaters, I was like, "Oh my God,
They're going
that
so
was
fast."
so fucking well." The blur outside is insane. It's just colors going by.
They're going literally light speed.
It's like when Superman and
what
Flash
they're
race
going.
around the world.
God.
Gotta fucking love it, man.
So they're racing there, you know what I mean? Ja Rule was thinking with his dick, of course. He fucks it up and they pull ahead. He's like, Monica! Great line. Great fucking line. This is
Great line.
This is Andy's insulting people's line delivery. That was a great line
Iconic
delivery.
moment
I
in
was thinking
I
movie
mean, he was like, you could tell that he was broken.
blue
you know?
balls. Yeah, totally. They're going. Everything's going pretty well.
Fast, yeah.
It's fast. It's Vin. It's
furious.
Brian. They're going.
Yeah.
Brian looks like he's pulling ahead. He's got a fucking back computer there. He's doing all this stuff. The manifold starts falling apart, which means that just part of the floor falls out and it's sparking and shooting around. And then it goes and it runs. And I'm like, you just
Dangerous.
killed people.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
definitely came off the
Someone is
asshole and
dead.
decapitated
It makes
someone.
sense too because the manifold definitely part of the actual floor pan. That makes sense, right? That's how
Right.
cars
It
work.
cuts to Ja Rule
No, it's
behind
not.
him.
I don't know why that.
Isn't the
Monica just,
manifold like top of the engine?
It's part of the engine.
Yeah.
It's like the manifold's exploding, and this little piece of metal that is just the floorboard just pops out.
But it
does this
dragged
great-
underneath and it sparked and it looked pretty sick.
looks real cool.
It looked
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sick.
But also, I love that they were like, we don't need these graphics to make sense. We just needed them to be 3D.
Yeah.
They have to be 3D.
They have to be.
Because
fucking
if you've
3D.
ever seen a car actually get hooked up to a machine, it's just a 2D graph, but they're like, that's not fucking fast
cool
or
enough.
furious enough.
Just throw a bunch of nuts and bolts everywhere and show that it's breaking out. Yeah.
They're shooting all over the fucking place.
Ping pong.
'Cause
Brian
again,
thinks he's got it, but he doesn't. Vin's like, nah, and he hits his button. He nosses away.
He hits his like second button, right? The fire, the
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he pulls
hits the
another
cigarette
button.
lighter because he needs a hidden NOS button.
a lot of weird stuff with
Hell yeah.
how hidden he needs to be in
Yeah,
his
why
life.
is the NOS underneath? Well, I guess that makes sense for his character, though, right? Because he's got a hidden, like, he's hiding his life from everyone else.
Close to the
Again,
chest.
deep subtext.
Deep
Yeah.
subtext, also because he hides his true self, who's like the rage ball.
I'm jumping a little bit ahead in this, but like it makes sense for this conversation. So when the cops after this are chasing him down, Toretto, they obviously know who
They
he
know who he
is.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just this restaurant or a little store called Toretto's.
Toretto's.
Yeah.
That we know he
You
Works
forget,
hangs out in.
you forget the first rule of police work. You need evidence. So an officer just seeing him wouldn't stand up in court.
Right.
True.
An officer seeing the cars and then rolling up on the house they all know is Toretto's and seeing all of the same cars they just saw racing wouldn't hold
Not
up
good
in
enough.
court. You know what I
The
mean?
thing is, you don't understand the law. It's the legal term out of sight, out of mind.
Got it.
That's the problem. The second you lose sight on him,
okay.
it's done.
So
you
it's
got
Grand
to just
Theft
go on to
Auto
the next
rules.
thing. It's pretty
Exactly.
much
He
all
let his
video
star
game
rating
rules.
go back down.
Got it.
He was
Exactly.
he hid long enough that it was fine. So that's what happens. The cops show up. Cops. Everybody's like, they all run around. They all drive away and do their different things.
Wait, did we miss the line though? Isn't this where one of the best lines is?
Yes.
Where he pulls up, he's like, "I almost had you." He's like,
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
You
"I almost
never
had
had
you." Everyone goes,
God.
"Oh, he's cool now because he almost had him." Paul Walker's smiling.
Yeah, he's very smiley for somebody who's twice his car.
Paul Walker just smiles like Michael Pena's character and everything.
Yeah.
You know, where he's like, "Yeah, man, it's great." And he goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or by
Well,
a
he said
mile."
you didn't almost have me.
You almost had
didn't
me,
have
and
the
he does
car.
like there's some great extra work there. Almost had me, and the extras like
Yes. This reminded me a lot of
shifting like a
of the extras in Spider-Man. A lot of the I wonder which ones are better because there was a lot of people it's just terrible.
This fit at least more. This
Yeah.
fit the
No,
party
it's totally
atmosphere.
fit. Yeah.
But then we get the line.
It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or by a mile. Winning's winning.
Hell yeah.
And the car's like steaming, and then it's the cops. There's one guy who literally has 3 lines, and
In
it's
the,
always
in the fucking
Yeah.
I forget what song mashes in incredibly hard, but it's loud and obnoxious. And so they all scatter, they all run. Vin takes off and dumps his car in a parking garage. But then the cop Toretto, and he fucking runs. But then Brian Spillner gets there first, and he gets him in his car, and they drive away. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. And Vin gets to see that he's a good wheelman. And then they're driving. He's like, "Are you a wheelman?" He's like, "No." And then no, Vin's like, "Yeah, you are. I have all this information." He's like, "Oh my god,
The internet.
Yeah, the internet. Yeah, if it's on the internet, Jesse can find it." I'm like, "Oh man, he knows how to use Bing. All right, awesome." Fucking LexisNexis searches on Brian Spillner. They go back to the Toretto household, and they're throwing a big old party there, where all they drink is Corona, which is, I guess, product placement. I mean, it makes sense, but it also is just
presumably.
like,
I think it was just a Vin Diesel. Like he was like, you know what? I like this.
We like
It'd be like
Coronas.
me with LaCroix.
But
It's
it
like,
also
it's not,
kinda-
we're not actually sponsored by them, but like we might as well be.
you wouldn't turn it down either.
Yeah.
But I will
Got
say
it.
this also: Corona goes very well with barbecues
and Pizza Hut.
does.
Super good.
It just
And
really
Vin
does.
Diesel.
No limes
And Vin
though. Did you
Diesel.
notice that?
That's
no one had any
heathens.
limes.
I mean,
Heathens.
you know how it is. You're shooting a movie. What are
You,
you gonna do?
have to
you
take.
sent a gopher to go get limes.
Also, I mean, these are like hardcore street racers, like mechanics and stuff. They don't care.
They don't need lime,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
No, they do.
They don't need a chaser.
Yeah.
It's not a
Anyways, they
chaser.
walk in the
It's an
house. The
additive.
party's been going. Vince is there being fucking Thor, and then everybody's playing guitar and shit. And even Letty's just playing PS1. Nobody very concerned about where Dominic is.
Yeah.
Which, on one hand, that sucks. On the other hand, well, if you're going to be the fucking leader, like, we assume you're going to be able to get back here. You know what I mean? It's like
you're the best of us. So if you can't get back, fuck
when the
you. You don't
Ninja
deserve to be
Turtles
leader.
are out on a mission and fucking Splinter goes AWOL, they're like, well, he'll fucking find us.
Right.
I don't need Michelangelo skateboarding through the fucking.
But apparently,
Making a lot of
and this,
sense.
using the same line of thinking, if Splinter came back, he would be super fucking pissed that no one came to look for him. Like, oh, where were you? Like, oh,
Why?
Splinter.
He's got a big.
That's what he sounded like.
He's got a big mouse trap on his head.
Oh my god.
Anyways, Vin Diesel yells at everybody about them not coming to get it. He steals the Vince's beer, gives it to Brian. And meanwhile, when they first walked up, Mia was upstairs, and I remember this as a senior in high school. Well, I was about ready to go to college, but I remember being like the hottest scene when she looks out. She's like, "Oh my god!" And she takes off her top and like she's naked. And she puts-
Also, very, very naked. More
Yeah.
naked than I remembered her being. You know, I was just like, holy shit. Like, that
There's
was
some side boob.
Yeah, that was like boob. Full on boob. Good for them.
good for them.
Good for them.
So as it starts to get heated with Vince, Mia comes down. I want to get me a drink. They go get her a Snapple.
What the fuck? So
She
here's
doesn't
the
drink.
thing.
Man.
How
She's
old
like a
is
kid.
she?
15, probably.
Really?
No.
Because
She's doing schoolwork.
No.
But there's a lot
That's
of
true.
weird shit that goes on in this movie where Vin
must be
Diesel
a
at some
senior,
point
right?
talks about Michelle Rodriguez, Letty,
Yeah.
and like says like that she's 17 or they've been together since she was 17.
Well, that's Mia gives
that
that
was
out.
when they
Mia
were-
gives that
yeah.
out the date
And
when,
I'm
he-
like,
But
when
they were
Brian's.
kids. It was like she was on the block. They were on the block. They've been together for a long time, but they were kids.
Yeah,
when they met.
when she
So
turned,
they're
she was
supposed to be
16.
the same age.
Yeah, well, I think she's supposed to be a few years younger, but like,
Yeah.
if he was a
weird-
senior and she was a freshman, or
It's
whatever.
a weird detail to put out when like it's underage.
Dom-
That's
like,
all
He
I'm
is like
saying.
doing homework.
Don Metter when he was
She
When
can go to
shows
college.
up,
Let her go
right?
to college.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's
that's
a
the
good
thing.
point.
I think she like I think it's implied that she's young
Yeah.
because the snap like get me a drink and he gets a Snapple. That's a fucking weird thing to do.
Also,
More product
Maybe
placement.
she just doesn't drink. You know what I mean? Maybe she just doesn't
But
drink.
he doesn't know that.
He's playing it safe. Maybe she brings back the.
Playing it safe with a Snapple.
Maybe he brought back a drink.
First
She'd
off,
be like,
who's gonna turn down a fucking Snapple,
Yeah.
Tim? All right.
Yeah, snapped it,
I don't know.
And if she's like, "Why don't you Irish this up? You pour the
Whoever
fucking vodka in the
snapped
Snapple." There
into
you go.
a Snapple, Tim. Jesus Christ.
Oh man. They make the
All
pop
right.
sound. Who doesn't like the pop sound of the Snapples? They're so fun.
And remember Snapple Lady?
Yeah.
Great commercials.
Snap into a Snapple.
Snap into a Snapple. It was Macho Man, the Snapple Lady. That was what we called her. So yeah, great. That's all good, well and good. Hooray! The party's over, and Brian leaves pretty quick.
Well, isn't she like, come on, I'll take you home.
Right. Yeah. Also, it's worth pointing out that we totally skipped the part that introduces Johnny Tran and his gang of bad guys.
Oh, and they blow up the car.
Somehow on their way home,
Don't be in his neighborhood.
knows where he is.
Don't be in his neighborhood.
And they find them and they blow up his car. And
can find anything on the internet.
That of course introduces the concept of like, you still owe me. Like I haven't accepted this car
exactly.
yet.
Because they
I
get him
haven't
in
taken
legal
ownership of this
lease.
car yet.
Johnny Tran, a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Who is this your car? No, it's his. Well, actually, we haven't transferred ownership yet. And Johnny Tran's like, I guess it's nobody's car. At which point I would just take the car personally. But Johnny Tran's like, I'll do you one better. And he drives away, act like it's okay. And then he comes back and they just shoot the fucking shit out of his car and blow it up.
They shoot it.
No, and it blows up in green flames. I love that.
Had to.
I
Totally
also
cool.
love that Johnny Tran's
Game of
group
Thrones wildfire
is
shit.
very diverse when it comes to the age ranges. Because Johnny's like a good 25, but his sidekick's like 47-year-old cousin. That dude, and it's like
Their
cool,
family,
good,
it's his uncle.
good for Johnny Tran. You know what I mean? Killing it.
Dad, can you leave me alone?
It's like,
No, we meet his dad later.
Like
The
dresses
guy
up, but the
slaps
jacket's
him.
not quite right. It's kind of got the wrong flame on it.
So I think then Mia drives him home. Hooray.
She does
and
drive
then-
him home. A little fact for you. Prior to filming, both Jordana Brewster and Michelle Rodriguez did not have driver's licenses, so they had to take driving lessons during production.
Naturally.
Nice.
And she's actually driving.
Fake ass racers.
There you go.
And then Michelle Rodriguez drunk drove during Lost, if we all remember. Got her thrown off the show.
Yeah, she had
Oh, that's right. And they shot her in the stomach, remember?
Right. Spoilers for Lost in
wasn't
review.
very
That's
good,
coming up
actually.
eventually. Damn it. So the next morning, I'm assuming we wake up and Brian's driving the red truck from the place that he works at. Who I can't remember. Harry's. I don't know why I can't remember Harry. Harry. Greg, never forget Harry.
Greg, just tell me. Ask me and I'll.
I got it.
This is how he does it. This is how he keeps beating me in
Talking to
Jeopardy.
himself.
This is how he keeps beating me in Jeopardy.
So he's driving Harry's car, and then he gets pulled over. Whoop whoop! It's the popo. They cuff him. They're acting like assholes. They throw him in the car. They drive him to a fucking Malibu house, and it's like, guess what? It was all you're not Brian Spillner. You're Brian O'Connor, and we're bringing down these people. It's a joint operation between the LAPD and the FBI, and Brian wants to be a detective, and this is his chance to prove himself, and he's got to bring these people to justice. Who's stealing these TV VCRs?
I'm gonna say, I don't give a fuck that it's a ripoff of Point Break. This is awesome.
It's great.
It's such
It's
a
so
cool
good.
story.
I love it.
So hey, we got to go to our special task force house. This $1 billion mansion in the
But they
Hollywood
explain
Hills.
this. They're like, it's seized.
Why not
Oh, I
just
missed
work
that. I
out of
didn't
the
know
police station?
That's cool, man.
No, it's
a
much
police
cooler.
station.
It's much
I'm sure
cooler.
the internet's better at the police station.
If it's on the internet, Jesse can find it.
Yeah.
This is how you stay off the internet, all right?
It's true.
I thought that small detail of explaining
Yeah.
why they're in this dope ass house, right as they're walking in, we're like, oh, what a cool house. Like, yeah, we just seized it.
This house is dope.
Yeah.
It's a dope fucking house.
So we got DARPA Chief and we got Buffalo Bill and we got Brian O'Connor,
Yeah, we
and they're
do.
like, oh, we gotta fucking stop these guys. Like, we're running out of time. People are breathing down my necks and they want us. All right, cool. There's a time limit to all this. We got it. Thank you.
They also explain why Harry didn't fire him.
Right, because
they're like,
blackmailing
yeah,
Harry.
yeah, exactly.
To keep him out of jail. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
Harry's not gonna fucking do this. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't they need the house to like have a place for what's the main guy's name?
Brian?
For him to go to? Because if they just
No, he
take
sleeps
him-
at Harry's.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
He's
Remember,
a
he's
dirtbag.
sleeping at Harry's.
Also,
No,
with the
I'm
door
just
not
saying-
closed. Fucking with the door open
I'm just
to
saying
his
for them to
bedroom
work.
off the showroom floor in this place, all windows.
Yeah.
What's wrong
Vince
with
is
that?
on the outside, just like, I hate you, Brian, but I love you, Brian.
see this, but it's illegal.
I'm just saying, if they're working at the police station, what if like some of like Dom's friends see him there and like all that stuff?
Sure.
No, so
You're not wrong.
Or what if they arrested him and took him to this awesome house in the hills? That's
Yeah.
not
Exactly.
suspicious
That's
either.
true. It's making a
They
solid
arrested
point.
him and they take him to this fucking dope ass party. I'm
No
like,
one
what-
was
what is
following him.
happening?
No one's
They didn't
following
have
him.
drone
Except for Johnny
technology.
Tran, who could just locate people. He can just geolocate people anywhere.
If you go into Johnny Tran's hood,
Yeah.
that's also explained later.
Johnny
At
Tran
Race
just knows.
Wars, this isn't your neighborhood.
Again, spoilers. Michelle Rodriguez is a car. Johnny Tran is a computer.
It's true. Johnny Tran is alive.
So that sets up that part of it. And then, man, we are just doing racy and car-y stuff for a while, right? Like,
It's
cool
good stuff, though. He's building a
Brian's-
relationship.
Well, he
Yeah,
brings in
Brian-
the Supra, right? Like the fucked up
Supra?
Supra. He's
Yeah.
like, I got to bring you a 10-second
Yeah,
car.
yeah, and so they're gonna.
And he goes, this
yeah.
thing's gonna need $15,000 worth of performance parts. Also, $100,000 worth of body work because this is a piece of shit.
But they open
There's
it
no
up, and
fucking
guess
way
what? There's some
they're
crazy
redoing this
engine
car.
in there. And they're like, wow, this is a good engine. And I'm Jesse, and I know computers, and this is what it could look like. Which
Jesse's
is
character, fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
I love it, though. Like, so over the top in such a weird-ass
over the
way
top.
with such weird little
It's
details,
such a
like
nice-
the black
so
nail
different.
polish and stuff. I'm
It's
like,
such a 90s like hacker.
Yeah.
fucking
So
character.
Jesse's character, I think, actually is one of the more interesting characters
Yeah.
because like the reason he likes cars is because he has like he's ADD and couldn't go to college because he couldn't focus on anything, but he really found like he liked cars,
Yeah.
which is cool. But the way it's explained to us
it's
is so surface
on
level.
the nose. I have ADD. You just said
He
it.
just
You
said
just
that,
did the
and
whole
then Paul Walker
monologue.
goes, "Wow, you're really smart. You should be at MIT or something." And they just stare
That's
at each
all
other
we
like
need. That's all we
dumb
need.
fucks for a while.
Yeah, so they're working on that, and Jordana Brewster's bringing out lemonade and shit. I don't fucking remember. And like everybody's just having
having a great time.
They're
They're
having
bonding.
a gay old time getting together,
They're
and
bonding.
hey, they're the family. We see the family. We see it starting to go right. I assume around here is when we do the barbecue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Vince shows up, and he's
Old
all
fishnets,
like,
not happy
I
about
don't
it."
like this. Take the bag. I'm out of here. And he fucking pouts
First
and drives
barbecue, man.
away like
this is important.
I know. Drives away like a bitch. I don't know what
Barbecue
he
looked
did.
good.
We didn't understand
We
at
see
that
the
point
car.
why he was so mad, but now, like retrospectively looking
Yeah.
back, being like, "Oh
They
shit, all
allowed
right,
him in the
yeah,
BBQ, yeah.
yeah." It's like, damn, that's a big deal.
Also, we get introduced to the father's car at some point, right during the barbecue. Don't they
Right,
walk
right,
around
No,
the
it's
right,
a-
garage?
I think that's
we get a little
after
Dom
the- Good
backstory.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
again, I had totally forgotten
Yeah.
about. His dad was a stock car racer.
Put into the wall.
But
I think
who-
I heard
somebody-
screaming. He was killed on impact. I was screaming.
But somebody
I'm done.
accidentally
Ugh.
fucked something up, right? That's
Yeah,
the guy they
so-
took a wrench to.
Well, yeah, some
hit him.
guy hit the
Tapped him.
back of his car, and like we'd missed. At some point, he goes back to the cops, and the cops.
I think it was
like,
that first time when he's
"Look
like,
at
no,
this
yeah.
picture."
Beat
Sorry.
someone to fucking
Sorry.
death.
Put it in my mouth.
Yeah, he
Look
like
at
beat
this
someone into
picture,
being
yeah.
a janitor or something like that. But like, yeah, he beat someone.
He
with a
beat
fucking-
someone into being a janitor.
Or something like that.
like that was really sad. But then yeah, he tells a story of like how he had blind rage because this guy kind of killed his dad, but not really, and he felt bad about it every
The guy
single day.
clipped
And you're
the-
like,
the
oh,
dad.
okay, we you know,
I didn't mean to keep hitting him, but I can't.
you're a psychopathic monster that can't control your rage. But
Hey,
I
cool.
sympathize.
Yeah.
I've been there.
It's like when that one
We've all
racer ran
worked
over
with
that
Kevin.
kid. Remember that?
What?
Remember that?
No.
You don't remember that? One of the famous racers. I
Is
forgot
this
his
like
name.
a speed racer? Or are you doing
No,
some
no,
joke?
no, 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 no. Real story. Real
Mario
story.
Andretti movie.
God, I can't remember
Mario
his name.
Andretti.
Bear, just look up
Dale
guy.
Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt
What were you
Jr.
gonna say? Look up guy.
Look up
Dale
the guy who killed a
Earnhardt.
kid on a racetrack. This is super serious.
So the kid walked on the racetrack.
This is like a normal NASCAR
Look,
racer.
Hey, hold on.
Well, with
I
all
feel
due
like the
respect,
kid
then,
is
the kid had it
wrong
coming.
on
Yeah,
that one.
like, you can't
So
help
the
that.
Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart killed a kid?
Yes, the kid, Kevin Ward, the little kid. So check it out.
Click on
Check-
the fucking article.
check it
Go
No,
out.
I don't want to watch
Well,
the
they're not
video.
going to show the
No,
video.
check it out. So Tony Stewart like clipped the
Just the
kid.
deer video from the other day.
Tony
the
Stewart
kid.
clipped the kid in the vehicle, the racer.
Oh!
And then the racer,
Wait, hold on.
the kid gets pissed off and he's like getting in the way as they're driving by and he's like, fuck you and shit. And then Tony like drives next to him to try to scare him, but he fucking like snags him under his wheel and the kid just flies and the
Holy
kid dies.
shit.
Yeah, and he was almost like he it was like a fucking like involuntary manslaughter or whatever, you know.
I mean, that
Did,
seems pretty
did he
voluntary.
stop racing after that, Tony Stewart?
I don't
Wasn't
know.
he like in
I don't
M&M's
think so.
commercials
Yeah,
and
he was
shit?
like he's a famous like NASCAR driver.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
But,
this
I
was
mean, like,
huge.
really precision driving.
So
though.
he wasn't doing
No, it
NASCAR.
wasn't, though.
He wasn't doing NASCAR at this point. He was doing. This was like
This is
like
pre-NASCAR
on a
days?
dirt track. No. This was like.
Oh, okay.
You know how like basketball players in the offseason will kind of play just at random gyms and
Yeah.
you know, to keep in shape. He was doing like stock car racing on those dirt tracks with those kind of weird looking cars.
Yeah.
And yeah, this happened to some kid named Kevin Ward and it was
Wow,
fucking
that's
crazy.
sad.
Yeah. Tony Stewart, murderer.
So Brian, he
Just like
loves
Ray
tuna
Lewis.
fish.
Yeah, he really does.
Let's see, where are we? The stock cars,
That got
the
really
Supras,
dark.
They do,
Sorry.
and then-
Yeah, they work on the car. They do the thing.
Oh, then
His
they have
dad's
the-
dead. To kill the wrench thing, he didn't mean to do it. He
Right.
is a good guy, but he
Yeah, he
fucked
just,
up,
like,
and he went to
blacked out
jail,
or
and he'll never
something.
go back to jail.
Then
He'll
they go to the
die before he
restaurant,
goes back
right?
to jail.
They go to the restaurant and it's like, I need
They
in.
finish off the thing where I'm here. No, not yet. I'm a different restaurant. Different restaurant. Brian's like, where I'm from, the cook doesn't clean, so I'd like to go there. And he cooks with me. He cleans with Mia for a while, and they're all watching movies. Vince came back, like the tail between his legs. He knows he's a cop. He can smell he's a cop. Whatever.
This guy's a cab. Oh, right. We got the
Then
whole.
they what's that Italian the Cuban place you want to take me to? And he's like, oh, with the candles. And she's like, yeah, with the candles. And he's like, Brian can take. I'm
What
Vincent,
a
I'm
fucked
mad.
up moment.
Love it.
So
Great move.
fucking hot. No, man.
It was hot. It's like, oh yeah, let's fucking go.
But dude, like that's so mean to Vince. Like
Fuck
Vince,
Vince, dude.
but Vince was right.
Imagine-
This fucker's a cop. You know?
okay.
Here, I mean, the moral of the story is don't act like you're a little child about it. You know what I mean? You can present that information in a way where you don't like you take the grocery bags. I'm gonna burn out in my car and drive away. Oh, Vincent, I'm angry. No, like be like
These
pull
aren't
him aside, be like,
mature adults.
Hey, Dom. Pretty sure this guy's a cop.
Yeah, like is the next scene where he decides to break into?
Yeah,
Johnny
we're
Tran's-
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It was. This isn't Tran yet, right? This is when he broke into Hector's.
Yes.
To look at the first cars.
Right.
Then he came out and got caught by Vince and
Right.
Dom, who were there.
Why were they there?
I don't know.
no
Wasn't there
fucking
some race
idea.
going on out in the front? Wasn't there? Weren't they doing some race and stuff at the
Was there
time?
racing?
They're there
getting
to
ready race?
further the plot.
Whatever.
And then
he's
this
like,
big-
he's a cop, he's a cop, he's a cop. Are you a cop? Not a cop. Or it's not a cop. I don't know. You know.
I know you
What are you gonna, and then he's like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna look up. You gonna look up everybody's skirt? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, all right, this plan makes sense. Let's
Hey,
go to
real
Johnny
talk,
Trans.
checks out.
Good on Brian O'Connor.
Yeah.
On the spot, came up with. I was like, I've seen
just
this
found
movie a
these
million
parts,
times.
and you're like, he's busted.
And I still felt like,
Yeah.
oh, he's fucked.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit, he actually gave a pretty good explanation
Yep.
for
And
what he could be doing.
I like the Vin Diesel performance. He's like, "You a cop, Brian?" And then Brian talks for a long time, and then it cuts back to him. He goes, "You a cop, Brian?" It's terrible.
It turns out that like O'Connor is just like a fucking compulsive liar.
Yeah. He's like smiling the whole time though.
Yeah.
And ha ha.
Just excited to be in a movie, right?
He's really excited to be famous.
He's living his dream,
God
man.
bless him. Blue Crush.
So
Not Blue
yeah,
Crush.
then
Into the
Blue.
deep.
Into the Deep. Fucking great movie.
Wait, why Into the Deep?
It's a good movie. Jessica Alba, Paul
wait,
Walker.
but like just as a,
because he was in it.
oh, okay, I was thinking Deep.
No,
Seas
Deep,
or the
we
fucking-
jump back to the
Lucy.
cop mansion where they're like, hey, we gotta fucking have a guy in 36 hours, Brian. There's no more fucking time. You're out of time, Brian, you're out of time. And he's like, I'll fucking do this. So they go to Johnny Trans. They almost get caught there, but guess what? They find some fucking TVs that got VCRs built into them. And they're like, fucking shit. So Brian reports that information to the people. Then Brian goes out with Jordana Brewster. They go to the Cuban place with the candles and the wooden tables or whatever. And this is where he like pumps her for information about the place. He pumps her
better
for
than
information
underage fruit.
about
No.
Jesus.
Nick, you can't
She's 18
say.
years old. At least.
Pumps her for information about the entire family, why they're together, who everybody is, all this different shit. And she's like, yeah, all right, yeah. And she just gives it all up because it seems like first date conversation, not that I'm being interrogated by a cop, a fucking pig, Brian, you pig, oink, oink. And so then he goes and finds the truffles in bed with her. But then he gets a phone call from the cops. And the cops are like, guess what? We're moving on Johnny Train tomorrow at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon if you want to come. Brian's like, yeah, all right,
And
cool.
then he goes with this. He goes, "Really? Okay." And they're like, if you can't talk, just say yes." And he goes, "Yes." And then hangs up the phone.
Who was it, baby?
Wrong number.
Wrong number. Why did you answer 4 questions before the wrong number was done? How are these criminals not been caught yet? They're so stupid. Also, then they were just in his garage. And they get raided the next day, and nobody thinks that Brian is a fucking cop.
And there's also
No,
no,
but they
way.
don't-
There's also no way that they didn't see fucking Brian in the garage. Like
Well-
when they drive in, he's like,
Oh, they poured oil all over the guy too. They poured
Who was that guy?
Yeah, I think he's Harry's competitor.
Okay.
Barry.
Also,
The Johnny Tran character is so nebulously. Is he good? Is he bad? Is he a gangster? Is he not? Because they got
He's
nothing
everything,
on
man.
them. We got nothing on
Well,
this
then
guy.
you're
And he
skipping.
lives with his dad.
Then Rhino's ECW songs. Bum, 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 bum.
I love this
wait,
scene.
real quick,
Fucking in.
why did someone steal the engines from Tran?
The guy sold the engines because apparently 1 week before Race Wars, the engines would go at a premium. But like, not a smart move considering you're the engine, like you're the guy that installs the engines into his cars. You're the one that they're clearly going to be like, "Did you take the engines out of the car?" Goes like, "I didn't do it." Also, that guy, not a good actor. At no point does he seem scared in this scene. It's like someone's
He's
he was like,
annoyed.
"Fuck, we lost the actor. Someone get their brother. Get your brother in here." And he
was
goes like,
Barry.
"Hello, I'm here."
So yeah, then we get the cool montage of everybody getting SWAT teamed up and going in there while Vin Diesel.
Paul Walker's suiting up.
That's happening, and then Vin Diesel is having sex with Michelle Rodriguez, and then there's probably another third plane of action in this montage that's happening, but who cares?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, was this the first time we saw the abs of Vin Diesel?
This, I think, was the
Were
time.
they
the third one?
born
Was
in
Tran?
labs? Now it's time to rank those abs.
Kicking it off at number 1, Vin Diesel's abs. We have not seen Paul Walker.
We got a
naked
hint
yet.
of Paul Walker. He took his shirt off in the beginning of the movie, but it was more of like a turn around to the camera.
And
type
we're
situation.
waiting for them because Paul Walker was, if you remember correctly from the movie I just mentioned, which was Into the Blue? Is
Into
that what
the
it's called?
Deep.
Into the Deep. Fantastic body, that Paul Walker. But I will say this, Vin Diesel, it looked great in this movie. He was fucking jacked. Good definition. Would he rank highly on the Marvel list? Definitely not.
No.
Try harder next time, Ben. I think he was a little more jacked in the next Riddick movie, but we'll get to that later. Because I assume Riddick's part of the Fast and Furious series, right?
It is in fact not actually. You'd be surprised.
It's way in the future.
Yeah.
He's a descendant. It's Riddick
maybe
Toretto.
one
It's not a
day.
big deal.
They don't make a
the
big deal
entire
out of it.
time he was Riddick, but he was just the alien
That's what I'm
character.
saying. Yeah, they freeze his body for 4,000 years.
I don't care nothing. It's a great song. Everybody should. And they fucking bust into Johnny Tran's place,
Paul
and he's
Walker
having
in
it.
this?
He's having a great
He's deep undercover. You think they wouldn't risk him being like seen in this fucking
He's got to be
raid?
there. He's got to be. He's wearing a mask. Nobody
Like
can
as
tell.
if
Yeah,
as
he's
if the authorities are just like they wear many hats. Like you're also a SWAT guy.
Yeah.
But you're also an undercover dude. Like that doesn't happen.
No,
He's
it
got to be there to
doesn't
point out
feel
who Johnny
in,
Tran
in
is.
cover movies, that's always what happens when
Yeah,
the
'cause they
SWAT team
always-
comes in. It's always like he's in there to be like, that's him.
That's the guy.
Even though they know he's right there. Oh,
They
no,
fucking-
thank God.
Yeah,
They
no, we
didn't
have all the
pictures.
pictures.
Yeah.
They
pictures of this guy.
brutally chokeslam Johnny Tran's 45-year-old partner. I was just like, fucking Undertaker and Kane are there dropping moves. Johnny Tran having a nice dinner or luncheon with his family, of course. They grab him, and Johnny Tran yells at him about breaking in, and they take him, and then
his dad comes.
The dad
Backhand
And here's what I'll
slaps
say.
him.
Here's what I'll say about it. The ball's on the father.
Yeah.
Because if right now anybody busted in here and they get Nick for embezzlement of funds, the last thing I'm going to do with 50 trigger-happy LAPD people in here, guns pointed, is me get up and sprint at any of them.
Yeah.
Be
That's
like,
a good idea.
backhand
I'm
him.
fucking pissed at you, Nick, but I'm not getting shot over getting pissed
But
at
also,
you.
this was just such a weird scene because, like, if you think about this, up until this point in the movie, the Johnny character is kind of the bad guy. He's kind of an antagonist, and to take him and put him in his family home and have his dad like
Slap him?
totally slap him and embarrass him diminishes this character the rest of the time. You're like, up until this point, you're like, oh, this guy's a fucking hardcore killer, and now we just know he's a daddy's boy, as a spoiled rich
He
kid.
enjoys
You're like,
that
respect.
makes
I kinda
sense.
like it.
Yeah,
I
He's
like
a
it.
human being, Nick.
It builds him as just like he has his whole gang shit, but he is just playing fucking make believe dumbass like
it's
kid
just
street
weird,
shit.
and then to me, it just totally undermines his ability to like be intimidating toward the end of the movie with Jesse. Because you're just like, why do I care about
he
this guy?
shows
This guy's a
that. Don't
bitch.
worry about that. Because, we go back to the cop mansion. They got nothing. Maybe some weapons charges. Blah.
Turns
It's
out
Toretto.
all
It's
those
always been
DVD
Toretto.
All the
players
DVD players.
were purchased legally. Why? Why did they have 40 fucking
Yeah,
DVD
like
players?
did they
In
explain
case
that
I
at
wanted
all?
to watch
No.
it more than once.
It's Toretto. It's always been Toretto. Are you hung up on the sister? No, I'm not hung up on the sister. Goes outside, talks to the Buffalo Bill. I'm kind of hung up on the sister. All right.
You're out of fumes, O'Connor.
So it's Race Wars. He's got to make this happen. It's happening no matter what. Let's go to Race Wars. We go to Race Wars. We're out in the desert. Everybody's getting that cool paint pen where they write numbers on your car. I want one, but I don't have a car.
They used to do that with cheerleaders. The cheerleaders would like write the numbers on
That's
their
right.
cars. Right? Like, hey, go number like.
Yeah,
go
oh, yeah,
ball,
totally,
whatever.
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
I didn't
You
even
can
know
write
this.
just married too. You
You
write anything on a
used to
car.
drive around town when the football season would
You write
happen.
anything on a
Everyone
car.
would run all
Yeah,
over
pep
cars.
rally season
Yeah,
and
pep
stuff,
rally
yeah.
Oh, got it.
Pep rally
season.
Yeah,
They come and
yeah.
tag your car, but with like washable stuff.
PSAA, man. Far Side Lawn Alamo.
RGB.
Parmesan.
Get a proper pizza.
So it's Race Wars. We're all there to race. Let's have some fun. Brian drives up. Jesse's running around with his pink slip. What are you doing? I'm going to race for pinks just like you. This seems like a bad idea, Jesse. No, I'm going to do it. This guy's got nothing. Oh, man, who's this nobody racer? I'm racing Johnny Tran. Are you a fucking idiot?
Yeah, you fucking dumb shit.
I understand
dumb.
you're good at math and can only focus on engines, but you can also focus on the fact that Johnny Tran blew up our cars
Yeah.
and has been built to be like the bad guy of this movie. Like Johnny Tran can beat you in a race.
Yeah.
Period.
Also,
I don't
he's
care if
rich. He has whatever he wants.
Exactly.
And
And
the
he's
only one worse than Johnny Tran is Johnny Tran's very rich father.
Kevin, were you drinking chocolate milk?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
it doesn't matter. We're gonna race. They race. Of course.
But you
Jesse
can't lose
gets
your
fucking
dad's
killed.
car.
Yeah. Oh no!
My
It's
dad's
gonna
car.
be. It's gonna be great
His
when
dad's
Dad
in
gets
jail.
out of prison. I'll have a car and I'll have a car, and we can race together. Like first off, your dad's probably never getting out of prison. Secondly,
So much subplot that's just so unnecessary. But it's like,
there.
well, we introduced his character and we gave him kind of a backstory. So
Let's give him
He's
some
got more of a
motivation.
backstory than anyone, and we get it all in 5 seconds.
All right, he races. He loses, of course, because he's a loser, and then he just drives off into the distance. Just drives off into the salt
it's
flats.
a bad look.
Yeah.
But again,
Gonna go
this
get a car
movie,
wash.
For as kind of, by the numbers as it is, I love like the feelings it makes you feel. When he does it, you're like, oh, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
do a good job of like getting the plot across.
So then Johnny Tran rolls up on the Toretto tent. And he's like, hey, Toretto, where'd he go? He's getting a car wash. It's a good line. And then it's like, all right, cool. And it's like, he's mad about that. And he's like, I know you ratted on me. You knocked on me. They came into my family. They disrespected me.
Bane?
I was having lunch with my papa.
And then Toretto's like, I never knocked on no one. And he comes and punches and they brawl for a bit. And then security comes in and they can barely keep it together.
Like you're gonna stop Vin Diesel. You know what I mean? Even at this moment,
He's
even
still
in
a human
even
in
in
these-
his
in these
Charmander
movies.
phase, like there's no way that these fucking guys are gonna like hold him back.
He's not quite Riddick yet.
Yeah.
yet.
But they do stop it, and that's the thing. And okay,
get a
cool. And we're here at Race Wars, and there's a lot of bikinis and stuff going on. And then,
But
They go out.
it's definitely like they just found people. It's not like they do
Well, yeah, no,
so many shots of just like, you know, they're like, oh, we're going up the legs or whatever. But they're not like import tuner models or anything. It's just like, oh, that's just Sam
Extra.
from math class.
yeah, we had
Like,
some extras who wanted
Yeah,
to come
well, I
in the
mean,
show.
they recorded this actually at the actual
I
race horse,
understand
right?
that, but it's like, don't give us the weird like glory shots of just anybody.
Listen, man, for $38 million, you say what you can get.
You
Two
take
important
what you
things
can
to
get.
toss out, by the
32
way.
is-
On the way to Race Wars, Brian, and because remember, you got to do anything, Brian. You got to close this fucking case. I don't care if you have to spoil your secret identity. On the way to Race Wars over shrimp, he gets all bitchy and tries to get Vin Diesel to tell him about it. And he says, let's see how you do at Race Wars. Great. Doesn't matter at all, really, but it's, hey, there is something
Does he
going
even
on.
race at Race Wars?
No. Okay. Number 2 is what's coming.
They only stayed one day.
In the trailer, he looks out. Jordana Brewster is trying to stop Vin from going on this very poorly timed DVD player chase because, like, it's daytime, like we're talking about.
the
You
mother
have
load,
none
man.
of your gear. It's the mother load.
You're missing one person.
We gotta
Wait,
go get the mother
was
load.
it daytime? Because at this point,
It's
No, no,
nighttime here.
It's
but it was-
nighttime. It's nighttime.
She is the only one apparently who can understand time and how long it'll take to get there.
And they're totally using like those filters to try to make it look as dark as possible, but it's like
Blazing
it's
sun.
fucking like 2 p.m.
Paul Walker stomps on out of there and he's like, Mia, where are they going? We gotta stop it. Mia, we gotta stop. We gotta stop it. Tell me where they're going. She's like, fuck off, Brian. I don't want to talk to you. And he's like, well, first off, aren't we kind of in love? Like, why would you treat me like this? Bring me into your circle. And then he's like, fine, fuck it. I'm a cop. It's bad. I don't know if you understand. At night, I get on the CB radio and I talk to every trucker who's gonna, and they're like, it's done. We're gonna start shooting people. Which I would say probably a trucker would do it. Start one.
Just a normal.
Yeah.
The first guy who comes through with the trident thing, like, you know what I mean?
got
Like,
a gun,
It's not
man.
a trident.
take another look.
Yeah.
No, it was like one spear thing on the top,
To try
and
it.
then
It's a
two
trident.
rods that hold the wire. But
That's a trident.
It
So
only
you're saying
shoots-
there's one thing and then two things.
Have you seen Aquaman?
3.
But this is the only one that comes out. These are half as short like that.
So Mia's like, oh, I can't. But he's like, they're gonna die. The truckers have guns now.
the way that he like tells her he's a cop is, I feel so rushed. It's just like,
Well, this
hey,
whole thing is
I'm a
rushed.
cop, whatever. It's just like, whoa. You could have eased into
There's
that.
time for
It's
us
just
later.
a
It's
bit-
about them now.
Here's the big problem is that like none of this was really set up, right? We had no idea that this next job was happening. It doesn't matter.
The
There's no
mother load.
stakes in this. We just are told that it's the mother load. Like none of the first and second act of this film have pushed to this point at all. And that's really the problem. Because you would think, hey, if Jesse just took off, his life is now in like very much in danger. We should probably not
Jesse
go
would
on
be the
this
number
thing,
one thing, yeah,
and
right?
Jesse should be the number one priority, which is where I thought when I watched the first one, I was like, oh, they're gonna go after Jesse, and it's gonna be the big showdown between him and the bad guy, Johnny Tran, and then somehow they're gonna have to, I guess, rob a fucking boatload of things. No, Jesse can wait. He's fine. Let's go to this
Well, he
thing that we've
ran
never
off.
heard of before. That we don't really know why it's such a big load because we didn't set it up at all. We don't know.
But
Right?
when they get to the cars, they're like, nobody feels good about this mission. And Vince is forcing the mission. And even Michelle Rodriguez, like,
they-
it doesn't feel right without Jesse.
But that's the other problem too. Is like they don't need this. Like, there's at no point do they say like, "Oh, we're gonna lose the family business unless we."
Dude, they're gonna
we don't
go on
know why
vacation
they're robbing.
afterwards.
They're
these
going to
things.
Mexico. They want to go to Mexico.
But you know what I mean? Like this, it's
Mexico.
not usually in a movie like this. Like it's the one big score that takes care of whatever the big problem is in our lives. It's gonna help. But realistically, like we have the power all the time to solve our own problems. No, this is just like let's go rob another fucking truck. Why?
Nick, the big problem is they're not rich. At the end of this, they're going to be rich.
But they're
Solves
also
the problem.
for DVD sales.
Yeah, dude.
They're gonna make like 20
You
grand
don't
on this.
remember
Split 6
in
ways, like 5 grand.
2001,
DVDs
DVDs were the weight in gold.
It's terrible.
So they have none of their gear, like their cool stealth black outfits. It's gonna be daytime by the time they get it, but they're all like, they fucking go for it or whatever. Meanwhile, Brian's like, what do you got from me, Mia? I know it's out there. They just drive, and then he calls and they triangulate with cell phone signals, which I think even today doesn't work the way it works in this movie, but no big deal. They head that way. The truck's heading that way. The
Also,
guys are heading that way.
He's like, Mia, give me his cell phone number. She's like, no, just give me the cell phone number. Fine, here's the. I'm like, why wouldn't you have Dom? You don't have Dom's cell phone
right.
number.
How long you been hanging out with Dom now at this point?
what the fuck?
Cell phones are pretty important. So they all go and they start trying to do the sloppiest mission of all time to get this in their fishnet shirts and whatever, nothing else. And they shoot the trident through the thing and they get up there. And then in the rearview mirror, Dom sees that this guy's got a shotgun. Oh no, I never thought this through. We never thought anybody would fight back. All hell breaks loose. Vince gets wrapped up in the cord. He's slammed into the side of the truck. He's hanging there. Michelle Rodriguez is like, I'll distract him. She gets shot at once. She's like, holy shit, they shot at me. I'm going to fall back. All hell's breaking loose. Everybody's driving. Eventually, Michelle Rodriguez's car gets flipped over. She's okay, though. The other, double back for Letty. Double back for Letty. They get Letty in there. They put her in the car. They drive off.
Reattach
Poor
her
Leon
legs.
is just so in debt. I'm gonna go get her. Flips a fucking bitch. I'm getting to go get her, and then she goes after and gets her. I'm like, dude, relax, man. Like, she's either dead or she's not. Jesus, Leon.
So that's all happening. Brian pulls up with Mia. They're gonna do this thing. Vince is already fallen back, or is about. Yeah, he's fallen back, and he's gonna get in the car with Leon. And so Brian saves the Vince or whatever. The truck driver just blows the shit out of his whole truck. At no point stops to get a better shot. No, you know, I mean, not even CB radioing for help or anything. No. Maybe that's just trucker code, though. I'm not sure.
Go down with the
That's
ship.
the rule of the road, man.
Yeah. This is, and you've seen it multiple times throughout this film, but this is the most egregious. Oh man, there's the stunt double. That guy doesn't look like Paul Walker at all. All right, yeah.
Cut his
notice.
hair a little bit.
Yeah, right. It's like, whoa, no, that's not
It's
anyway.
a bad way.
But they get Vince out of there, but his arm's all fucked up. He's all fucked
So
up.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Shotgun blast to the side of his stomach
He's
too.
dead.
Yeah.
No,
We
they
can
get
save him.
a-
We can save him.
yeah.
So Brian reveals himself with the, hey, I'm a cop, and here's my badge number and all this shit. And this is when Vince is standing
Dom's-
over him too, and Dom can't believe his eyes to find out this. So
Which
they-
would have been an amazing reveal had he not already spoiled that moment about 20 minutes earlier in the film with Jordana Brewster. Like if they had somehow saved that for that one moment and both of them had figured it out, it would have been a lot more
It would have
powerful.
been an even more amazing
Medevac
reveal.
flies on in and lands.
Keanu
They get him
Reeves.
out. No cops have called. No cops have been called.
no.
No medics called the cops. Nobody called any more cops.
Weird.
Is
It's just like,
is Vince just gone from now on?
What do you mean?
Like,
In
do
this
we
movie?
ever see Vince?
Oh, well, we
again
don't
in
talk
this-
about the future. We
I
don't
mean,
talk about the
he
future
comes back
movies. We don't talk about the
eventually.
future movies.
Who
We
knows?
don't talk
We don't
about
know
the
yet,
future
Kevin.
movies.
He just said no, so I think.
We don't know yet.
He's not in this movie anymore.
No, but like in any
He's
of
talking
the
about
other
in the
movies?
future of the Fast and Furious, which we don't talk
All
about.
right.
So then no cops. They leave Brian there on the side of the road. The whole Totino's crew gets back in the car. They drive back to Totino's HQ house. Brian rolls back up and he's like, "Where's everybody?" And they're like, "They already fucking left." And Vin Diesel's got a shotgun. He's like, "Drop the gun." And he gets his gun out. And he's like, "I'm not coming for you. I got to go find Jesse's out there somewhere. We got to get Jesse."
Horrifying moment.
Again.
though.
And then,
Jesse rolls up.
Wait, now you're worried about Jesse?
yeah, now you're worried about Jesse, and then they're just like, oh, fuck, we got to wrap up the Jesse storyline.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesse's here. Oh, Jesse's shot. Oh, shit. Cool.
Jesse-
I
Johnny
guess.
Train
dead?
comes by. Everybody has spider sense for a second, where they do like the they like wrap around their head, like
Hell yeah.
and they fucking blow Jesse away. Don't hit anybody else. Even though Vin Diesel's like not army crawling, he's like, what? You exercise? No, nobody exercises.
Oh, like
What's
Bear
that?
Cross.
Bear crawls. That's
Yeah.
it. Thank you. He bear crawls over there. Everybody's screaming. Bye. Jesse's fucking dead. And so Vin Diesel takes off to go get him. Paul Walker takes off to go get them. They got the motorcycle chases going on, and people are getting shot and falling down. Johnny Train's killed eventually, though. That's where we're getting
Just
to.
shot.
Luckily, the 47-year-old cousin is alive. And we look at him, and he gets up and just kind of scampers away. And we just know inherently, because this is good storytelling, that guy has learned his lesson. He's never going to be a bad guy again.
I'm out. I'm good.
Thank God we fucking executed Johnny Tran, though. Just
Like we
That was really dramatic.
We
Two
killed
shots?
we killed two people after they killed one of our best friends, but I gotta fucking race past this train. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
And
that's
that's the
my
thing.
main priority right
Vin
now.
Diesel knows, I should say Dominic Toretto, knows the jig's up. He's going back to jail. There's no way out of this one. So his plan here is, to race his dad's car that he's never driven because he's too frightened and have it get struck by the train and kill himself. He wants to die before he goes back to jail.
Was that what his plan was?
Yes.
I think he was just trying to run away.
That was absolutely not the plan.
Yeah,
That was totally his plan.
That
What
was
did
not
you
his
read?
plan.
That's how I saw it as.
Then
He's running away.
Running away.
Yeah.
So why would he wait to run away over the
Because
train?
he's trying to-
And why when he gets hit by when he afterwards get hit by the car, he's like, that's not how I saw that ending.
Well, he just meant
He thought he was gonna get
he
arrested.
didn't think a truck was
I
going to
mean, he
come
literally
out.
says in the movie, I'll die before I go back to jail.
I
Yeah,
understand
but
that, but
he's
that's
running
more
away.
like I don't think that's a literal.
Yeah.
I think it's open for interpretation.
No, there's no way.
Bear and I got the
No,
right
on the
idea.
same
He was
wavelength,
trying
Rick.
to race Brian to run away from Brian because Brian's a cop.
But he's not
Brian
trying to
now
race,
ha-
but why didn't he just run away?
That's what he was doing.
No,
was
he
running-
stopped running
Because
away
that's
to
how he
race
does this.
Brian.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like it's race culture. It's a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah. He's got to hurt it.
When you're being when there's a highway robbery and you're a trucker, you're not allowed to call the cops, or else
Sure,
with the next
sure,
bar they
fair.
make fun of you.
So they do
Understand?
this race thing, and like everybody gets through and they don't get hit by the train. It's like, and then he gets sideswiped by a Mack truck.
Very
So
violent.
fucking cool, man.
Very
This
violent.
whole
Poor Charger.
sequence is just Fantastic.
And so then
Is it fantastic?
It is.
Hell yeah, dude.
I
But it's
like
also
it.
Yeah.
because
It's
let
good.
me tell you one thing right
That's
now.
what I
They were
used to
like,
race.
"Oh wow, I wish we had $1,000 more to get some high speed cameras so we could actually do slow motion.
No.
Instead, let's
No.
just multiply the frames over and over.
Yeah.
Instead of having the
I
actors
hated that
actually
so
act
much.
like this is an intense scene, Paul Walker is just smiling the whole time, and, they just do that shitty like back in the
Shittery
day
looking thing?
No, you know what it was? What it is actually is that they wanted to do slow motion, but that's expensive.
Yeah.
So you have to shoot high frame rate for that, a lot of film. So what they did was they just did a post effect that they slowed it down, and that makes it like that weird multi-framey shitty effect.
What they actually did, they recorded, it was each car going separately. And they
I'm just
like
talking about the
framed them
close-up
together.
I'm talking about the close-ups
Like
of them
slow.
inside where the camera was panning around them, but it was supposed to be slow motion.
that
But they
shit.
just they digitally slowed it down, and it looked like dog shit.
To make
the
it
entire
look like
time.
both the cars just missed the train, like they shot each car separately and like layered shit on top of each other.
Oh, I'm sure
to-
that effect. I'm sure they spent all the money on that effect instead of the slow mo effect.
I mean, this scene would have
slow
been a
effect's
lot
so
cooler
bad.
if it didn't
So
ignore
bad.
the last 5 minutes of the movie of like your friend just died and then you avenged his death.
Did he die?
But you're still sad about your friend who died.
Yo, Jesse's fucking dead. Yeah.
Jesse's
Yeah?
dead as hell. But it's like
Jesse's dead.
like
Jesse
none
got,
of this scene
40
makes
shots
sense
to
to
the
me. Like
chest.
I don't. None of the scene makes sense to me. It's so bizarre and weird and just
Again, dude, you don't
Out of
get
place.
race culture, dude.
That's
That's
true.
how they mourn.
Yeah.
They race
Like,
together.
this guy was at
real
your
fast.
barbecue every day though. They barbecue
He's
every
like
day.
your little brother. But also in race
think it was
wars,
once a week.
again,
It's
he
Sundays.
lives his life a quarter mile at a time. Nothing really matters unless it's that 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So Jesse is if he's not in that time space continuum
Yeah.
of the 10 seconds of racing, doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter.
I only care about the past 10 seconds and the forward 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Just fuck that. Yes. Fuck that. Yes.
All right, where are we at?
So he bound. He. What are you looking up whether or not he died on purpose?
Well, I'm tweeting Vin Diesel.
Okay.
Hey, at Vin Diesel, at the end of Fast 1, was Dom's plan to get hit by the train and commit suicide, parentheses, because he said he died before going back
There's
to jail?
no way.
There's
Or
no way at
was
all.
he just planning to race Brian and take off?
I mean, why
Thank
didn't
you.
he just get
Kind
hit
of
by
funny.
the
I think he was
Kind
just
of
trying
funny
to
in
beat the
review.
train and make Brian chicken out. That's what I thought he was trying to
totally.
do.
That's what he was trying to do.
But we'll see what happens with Vin Diesel.
I just thought it was interesting to say you die before you go back to
Well,
jail,
let's
and then
see
you
what
get,
Vin
your,
says.
you get
but
yourself
that's
into a
just something-
suicide
that's-
We have an
situation.
something
interesting
you
connection to
say.
Vin Diesel.
We do.
Couple
Makuga
days, I
knows
think
The
it was
Rock.
yesterday on Internet Explorers. I was talking about how Josh Makuga and his wife were at Nina Dobrev's 30th birthday party, which is fucking crazy. Girl from Degrassi. It
Gotcha.
doesn't matter. Vampire Diaries. The after party, this is not a fucking joke, was at Vin Diesel's house.
Yo.
So Josh Makuga's at Vin Diesel's house.
Yes.
Did he get his number?
So cool.
Probably not.
Did he
But-
tell?
Did
Did
he
he tell
even
him that
try?
I also live my life
Did he
a
even
quarter
try?
mile at a time?
That's I feel
So
like how you lose
Vin's car's
friendships.
all fucked up. That's not how he saw that going, he says, which is open to interpretation.
No,
and
it's not.
Brian gives him the keys to his car and says, I owe you a 10-second car. See you later. And we hear sirens, and Brian walks towards the sirens, and then it's the Fast and the Furious logo. And
Too fast, too furious.
What's a 10-second car?
Too fast.
car that
0 to
can
60.
do the quarter mile.
Thank you.
in 10
Thank you.
seconds.
Thank you.
second.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
fucking
that makes
know.
sense.
like
that
a
makes sense.
4-minute mile.
But
All of these races are
10
supposed to be
seconds
quarter
for
mile
0 to
races.
60 is not
No,
impressive.
it's a quarter
is it?
mile. Quarter mile in 10
Oh,
seconds.
got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There was an alternate ending
And no,
shot
my car can do 10 seconds, 0 to 60.
It's not good.
called More Than Furious, in which Tanner drops Brian off the Toretto home where he encounters Mia packing, intending to move away. Brian reveals that he resigned from the LAPD, who let him go quietly, and that he wants another chance with her. When Mia tells him that it's not going to be that simple, Brian tells her he's got time. I'm really happy they didn't go with that ending.
It's weird though, because at this point, if you let him go, you would literally be aiding and abetting a felon rather. So like, I don't understand how he didn't get put in jail for
Well,
this.
nobody knows that, and he just lied. You know what I mean?
We've seen
Compulsive
him
liar.
the entire movie,
Yeah.
lying a lot.
That's what I would have done too. I'd have
Yeah.
like, he got away. He
Yeah, like
overpowered
he
me.
was fucking fast.
Have you seen how fucking big he is? Look at how big he is. And plus, we didn't start incorporating jiu-jitsu until movie 4. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
There is no post-credit scene
They have
for
an
this
awesome fight in 4
for
where they
this
use
movie.
jiu-jitsu.
But keep in mind that some of the movies do have post-credit scenes.
Ooh.
So
What? This
Make
one
sure you
had
check.
one though.
what?
No.
The Netflix, I forwarded to the end. It had the one where he's driving out into the middle of the fucking.
Oh fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
it's
did.
It's the short.
It's just him.
It's just a random shot.
No,
He's
it's
like, I
on the
live my
shot.
life a quarter mile at a time.
And it's just him
10 seconds,
driving
that matters,
off
just
to
10 and then
Mexico.
yeah, he just drives.
Huh.
And he's driving a dope ass like Chevelle.
It's
Oh,
the
Red
prequel to
Chevelle.
Los Bandoleros, right? Like
No.
No, but
so I'm jumping around a little bit here. There is, in fact, some extra credit. Next week's movie is Too Fast, Too Furious. Good Lord. preparing everyone right now, it's definitely one of the worst. You
yeah.
got to get through it, though. You got to get through it. It's fucking worth it. But there's a little extra credit that if you want to complete this whole franchise, in between a couple of these movies, there's some supplemental content that'll help your understanding of the
Interstitials?
narrative.
Oh my god.
And there's something
really
called
exciting.
the turbocharged prelude for Too Fast, Too Furious that explains what happens between The Fast and the Furious and Too Fast, Too Furious.
Is it canon or is it some fan film?
Oh, it's canon.
That's canon.
It's real canon.
They did a short.
Yeah.
Are you gonna include Better Luck Tomorrow?
that we'll get there when we get there.
Yes.
But you should watch
watching
it.
Better Luck Tomorrow
It's
again.
fucking horrible because the budget I think was $10.
Yeah.
But it explains a lot of things. We're introducing a new podcast within the podcast today that you can be a part of. Andy, hit the theme song.
All right, guys, I'm gonna need you to clap along for this one. All right? No, hold on.
Hey,
Thanks for the applause, guys.
picture your eardrum.
Thanks for the applause. Haiku in review. Haiku in review. Everybody, haiku in review. Haiku in review.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You want
welcome.
7 syllables for the middle and 5 for the first and last line. If you're not poetic, don't need to fret it. Fuck. Haikus don't need to rhyme. Haiku in review. Haiku
How much do you
in
hate this
review.
right now, Greg?
That was
You've been
great.
podcasting
Dude, that
for
was
8
so
hours.
good.
I had 5 minutes of prep before the show
Yeah.
to make 2 theme songs. And
Yeah.
he's a fucking
He's a
lyrical
professional.
genius.
Watch
Okay.
more KFA.
You like that?
Watch
If you're
this.
not poetic, don't need to
It's
fret
great.
it.
You're great.
Yeah, that was good.
Appreciate
Doesn't even
it.
need to rhyme. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of Haiku Reviews, where you can write your review of the Fast and Furious movies, but it has to be in haiku form. Sure. Now, we didn't have enough time to let you guys prepare them for this week, but I'm letting you know if you are a bronze member on patreon.com/kindoffunny, you too can submit your haiku review starting next week with Too Fast,
Haiku
Too
in
Furious. What's up?
Haiku in review.
Haiku in review, exactly. We're currently at $58,000 on patreon.com/kindoffunny. The entire month of January, we're crowdfunding to do a whole bunch of different things. We're well on our way to that 75K getting us to London. Gia Harris loved this haiku and review idea so much that she was like, I'm going to up my pledge to $5 a month to
Wow.
become a bronze member because I want to go to London.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, that's fair. She submitted 4 haikus.
It seems like a lot.
Just submit one, but she submitted 4 just to get you guys an idea of what we're looking for here, okay? Brian wants to know, how's the tuna fish today? But it's from a can. That was number 1.
great.
Number 2, Mia wants a drink. Brian hands her a Snapple. Give the girl some wine.
Does Jen know how the reviews work?
Number 3, Civics under trucks.
These are deep.
Barbecues with family. Are those VCRs? And finally, this movie wins by an inch or maybe a mile. Winning's winning, right?
Nice. I love
Can
it.
you outdo Gia Harris and her
Fantastic.
poetic skills? Let us know next week. Bronze members. Greg Miller?
Yeah. Hit it, Andy.
What? Oh, shit. Dun 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 down.
Ragu.
Dun 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 down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ragu Bagu Vids. That's right, Rad Guys Talk Bad Guys, the original podcast within a podcast, except no substitutes. Vote everything else down. Burn the world. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Big Dog Kev Quella. Oh, and Little Dog Andy Cortez.
Oh, Kevin's back for season 3?
Shut
why
up,
not?
dude.
Yeah,
Shut
why
up,
not?
dude.
You know what I mean?
Do a little,
Nick,
do a
what
little
about
bark.
Nick?
Who?
Do a little bark.
I can do a little bark too.
If you didn't know, each and every week we rate the bad guys in the Fast and the Furious universe. Today on the table, Johnny Tran.
Yeah.
Man, dude.
Who's number 1?
Yeah, but
He's got
also,
good motivation. You know, he's got a family. He's taking care of his fucking weird ass cousin that's 45. That needs to still hang out with him.
Gun crazy.
Also
cousin.
dead.
Oh,
yeah,
He's dead. Yeah.
Super dead.
Real quick. Was he like the bad guy? I get that he's like an
think this movie
antagonist,
has
but
a
like
bad guy.
I feel like Dominic Toretto's the bad guy.
I feel like
No, we
the
love
VCRs.
Dom.
No,
But that, the
yeah,
thing
it
with
being
that
so
is
tempting.
he's like the anti-hero. Because at the end of the day,
Wolverine.
Johnny Tran is the bad guy. Johnny Tran shoots people, kills people on the
Sure,
good guy's side.
sure.
So I
But
think
it-
he's the bad guy.
And dude stole his car. You know what I mean? He never delivered the car.
Right, but maybe don't kill him. Like,
That's a good point. Maybe
Racing
not.
culture,
Little
dude.
fun.
You
Like,
just-
maybe-
I don't know. We don't understand it.
I think
Yeah.
you could capture him and beat him up, but like not shoot at him.
I feel like they've done that
and
already,
anybody
and
else
they
in the
still
way
don't have the car.
because they're just fucking.
They were all over the place with those ooze.
Yeah.
Those ooze were everywhere.
Drive-bys, you know, that's how they work.
Tell you what though, man. Once you have an Uzi, you want to use it.
You want to use it?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
Uzis.
Don't get an Uzi, people. Don't get an
Super
Uzi.
fun.
So Johnny Tran, number 1. We'll see
Number
how
one.
he fares next week.
Wow. What a fun time. Now it's time to review. Oh, do we don't need the image now.
No,
I
it's
guess.
number one.
It's
No,
like
yeah,
so
yeah.
I forgot I
But
have
we
to
do
default
need to
number
make
one.
it for next week.
Really sad that I have to do all that bullshit again.
Wow. It's gonna
Every
be
week.
fun.
Fuck, I just hate
Rankings,
that
man.
stupid.
I know.
Just
I'm
fucking-
sorry.
Like the
Spider-
layout. It's
Just
all
do the
annoying.
Spider-Man graphic.
Yeah,
and then just
nobody
fucking
cares.
Done.
Just put Vin Diesel
But make
on
it match
Spider-Man.
the color in the background because I feel
So
like that'll
obviously,
look good.
this is number one
Yeah.
by default because it is the only one. But what a fun movie. What a dumb movie.
Dumb.
But like,
There you go.
I
Way better than
knowing
I
where this
remember.
goes, I love seeing how true they stay to certain elements
Mm-hmm.
and how far they go from others. And I feel like this movie works as a whole, has a lot of weird issues, but it's not bad.
I agree.
It's fun.
I think
on
it's-
the Nick Scarpino patented scale, it is smack dab in the middle. It is
Yeah.
a good, bad, dumb fucking
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Totally.
And it's fun.
totally.
It's one of those ones. When we were in London, it was on whatever weird ass London station they had, and I popped on and watched it for a while. It's that kind of movie. Oh, it's on USA. It's on TBS. Sure, what's going on with?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this thing. Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
And it's a great period piece for where we were in
Hell
2000.
yeah, it was.
I mean, Letty's sunglasses alone are just a time capsule.
She's dressed
of
just like
pure
Lita,
horror.
like her G-string over her
Yeah.
hips and her
It's
like
just
saggy
so
pants.
bad.
Oh, man.
So
Barrett,
stupid.
this is your first time watching this movie.
Yeah, it is.
What are your thoughts?
I really liked it. I've refused to watch most of these movies except for Fast and Furious, Fast 4.
It's a weird
So,
choice.
yeah, very weird choice.
I went with a group of friends who really wanted to go see it, whatever. But going back
pressure.
to this one, it was really fun. There was like definitely some things back in 2001.
A lot
that
of
were-
dumb shit.
A lot of dumb shit. a
Yeah,
lot of-
dropping that homophobic slur.
yeah, like in the
Yeah.
first 10 minutes, I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this ain't it."
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun. I liked Brian as kind of like the main central point. I didn't know that Paul Walker's character was like one of the main characters.
Oh, yeah.
And Vin Diesel, he's a fun guy. And Vin Diesel,
What a fun guy.
Fun guy.
2001 Vin Diesel is like
Something special.
It's the best.
It's something special.
He
so.
defines 2001. Like, when I think 2001, I think Vin Diesel and the cutoff shirts.
Are you excited for the future of this franchise?
Back to you.
From what I've heard, I'm not excited for next week.
yeah, next week's gonna be tough for all of us.
I am
Next
excited
week-
for Tokyo Drift, and I'm
You should be.
excited for everything
Yeah,
post
everything after that's great.
Fast 5.
That's not
Next
true.
week,
Barrett, start running the lower
4
third.
is not bad.
4 is undeniably bottom 2. Of this
I am
thing.
more looking. I'm more
for
looking
sure.
forward to 4 than I am to looking forward to the to.
What I
3?
remember of
Two and
4
2.
is that it's
Yeah,
boring
2
as
and 4
fuck.
are the bottom.
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
just. I got to get through 2, but I will say 2 gives us Ava Mendez, who love that she comes back multiple times. in the
Spoilers!
franchise.
Don't do this, Nick.
How is it hard not to
She
talk about
does
the
it.
future?
She comes
What?
back like once. It's like a fucking cameo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been
Damn it.
Kind of Funny in review.
Because
Fast
it's
and
Tyrese.
Furious in review. The next movie is Too Fast, Too Furious.
And
Watch it
Luda.
next week. If you want to contribute your haiku in review, be a bronze member at patreon.com/kindoffunny. Until next week.
Drive safe.
That was good.
That was really good.